World Schizophrenia Awareness Week, or World Schizophrenia Week. I believe it was Monday, that was World Schizophrenia Day or World Schizophrenia Awareness Day. And I mentioned the two because I've seen both of those being used. And I just found that out on, I think it was Sunday, the day before. And I've never really, I knew of Mental Health Month, but I didn't know, or at least maybe I knew a while ago or I forgot, that there was a Schizophrenia Day or Awareness Day. And so I was surprised when I saw that. Um, I made a post on Instagram about that, and I wanted to talk about that in my video, but I just didn't get around to it until today, I guess. So, but better late than never. So one of the things I talked about was, first of all, I prefer the awareness in when you compare the two, World Schizophrenia Awareness or World Schizophrenia Day or week. I prefer the one with the awareness in it because it highlights the awareness portion of it rather than the schizophrenia. Now, I'm not a person who tries to or even wants to empower something that's negative and destructive in people's lives as it was in my life. So people now have different uh, views of schizophrenia. There's people who are more embracive of it and they learn to create their identity around that or absorb that into themselves and make it a part of them. If you watch my videos or know anything about what I talk about here, is I completely reject that, but it's okay for those who do. Uh, but it's and other people, like I've seen somebody who uh, noted that I think they had schizoaffective disorder, and which that is where you have both schizophrenia symptoms and bipolar symptoms, combined, and so that puts you in a different, I guess, one foot in both worlds. So that person said that if it wasn't for their illness, they wouldn't be as successful or where they are in their careers or life or whatever it may be, which is great. I think if somebody's able to use that and turn this into something positive, is great. My experience with schizophrenia is something totally horrific, destructive. There was no positive in it, and because of that, I cannot embrace it. I cannot magnify it. I cannot exalt it, or cannot make it a part of me. I completely reject it because it's something that came. It's like it was a parasite that came to feed off my mind in order to tear me down and tear me apart. And I will not. I will never feel. It's my perspective that this is something to be cherished or something to be embraced. I completely reject it, and so that's why when it comes to schizophrenia week or day, I prefer the awareness part in there so that we highlight this is awareness about what this is. This is not just about this thing itself, So again, wording is something that is important. If you're trying to get somewhere, if you're trying to separate yourself from something, wording is important. It's proper um, procedure, proper process, I guess, to identify who you are and identify what the illness is, and to make sure that we don't uh, blend ourselves with the thing that is destructive to us. If you fall in that category, some people, they might have it more mild, some people it's more medium, and there's some more severe. I don't know which where mine fall in, but all I know is that it wanted me. I wanted to kill myself, wanted to rip my head out, my brains out. So maybe it's more severe side, I guess. But regardless, that's how it was for me. So one of the things also I want to talk about is, what does awareness mean to you, man? For some people, it's just about, putting in statistics and to put um, trying to eliminate stigma. You're just trying to put out how difficult it is for people who are suffering with schizophrenia, the amount of people, and just trying to bring more light to the illness itself, or at least to the existence of it and what people are really going through, and to try to get other people who are maybe not suffering to understand that's people suffering from schizophrenia aren't people to be afraid of, or that we're not dangerous or whatnot, right? That's great, and that's I think that's really important. But also, one of the most important thing is that I see is for people who are suffering with schizophrenia to, and also people who may not be suffering with schizophrenia, to understand that there is hope for anyone who is burdened with that, right? It's not a hopeless illness, right? There are medications that can help people thrive in their lives, and I think that people, it's also good to be aware that we have a greater role to play in actually changing the way the negative statistics, the negative trend of the statistics are going, right? So we today have so much knowledge, or more knowledge and understanding than previous generations who have suffered from schizophrenia. So I think we have a greater responsibility to use the knowledge in order to help ourselves get better, and really carry on with our lives in a positive way. One of the ways we do that is by taking medications, right? If some people some people might not agree with that, but those who do agree with that, take your medications, right? And that's also for people who are aware that they are ill. This is definitely crucial, because some people are not aware that they're ill, and so they cannot feel like this is right for them. I've been there. It's the most dangerous part of schizophrenia, or maybe mental illness itself, is to not aware that you're ill, because if you're not aware, then you think the delusion, whatever it is you're caught up in, that's the reality and that's the truth, and so everybody else is wrong. So, but those who are aware, then we have to take medications as prescribed, and maybe see a therapist, whatever it is, right? And those who may not agree with taking medication, like at some point I rejected that as well, but make sure that you are solid in whatever it is that you are using to further yourself and to improve yourself. And that's necessary, because if you do not take medication, if you are aware you are ill and you do not take medications to help yourself, then you're responsible for whatever state that you fall into, and whatever comes after that. So you have to have whatever beliefs, philosophy, whatever wisdom, whatever the heck you're using, herbs, spices, whatever it is. Make sure that you are grounded. Make sure that it's something that's going to help you and carry you through, because when the symptoms come, it can be a real storm, and so you gotta have an anchor and make sure you're secure. And so that these are gonna help for the negative trending of the statistics going to 10, 20, 30 years on the road. We can help those trending in a positive direction, right? So that means the suicide, or the people who go on to, maybe it says, go on to not recover properly, or in a way that they're productive. So maybe we can help bring those down, because that falls on us. That's going to affect us, right? We are responsible for that, right? And it's going to affect the next generation below us, right? Because whether it's your child, whether it's niece, nephew, anybody, right? People whose lives we may have some kind of influence in. how we respond to the illness in our lives may affect how they're going to respond to the illness in their lives, right? So we can at least learn to guide them and to educate them and to help and to show that there is hope and they can recover. But if we fail at this task at this point, then they're what how can we expect them to do any better? We can't put all the effort and all the work and all the answers on the medical professionals, right? They have their tasks, they're making meds, they're doing all this stuff, and they're working and they're doing what they got to do, but it's not all on them. We have great responsibility as well, and so it's important that we ourselves are aware of that, right? Because it's we have the knowledge. I see people posting all this stuff on Instagram. Great. If you are aware of your condition, then make sure you do what you got to do to help yourself. It's not good enough to say, oh yeah, I know I'm this and I'm suffering and I'm this and I'm that and that, and you have full knowledge and full awareness, but you're not taking your meds. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. That's on you. There's got to be accountability and responsibility on our part. We can't be reckless, right? And I know it's difficult. It can be, but I think, like I said, there is power in knowledge. But if you don't use that knowledge, then it becomes your enemy, right? And it doesn't become effective. There's a reason why and if you can help yourself, and you can have a buddy of somebody able to help, kind of buddy system, help check on you, do whatever it is, and to not let the illness gain a foothold over our hearts and our minds and drag us back down into the depths of darkness. And yeah, so that's kind of what I want to talk about, and see if I forget anything else, which I'm probably sure I am forgetting some other stuff. But it's a hard thing to try to get. At least everyone's coming from a different place, everyone coming from a different place, and I don't know exactly what your experience is or other people's, but I know that there's a difference between the person that doesn't know and the person that does know, and the person that knows has such a greater advantage. It's that is the first step, is being aware of your illness. Because if you're aware, then oh, I can't be listening to this stuff, I can't be following this stuff, I can, you know what I mean? At least for me, when I was aware, it caused my actions to change. Yes, there was a depression and there was a suicidal thoughts and all that stuff, but it didn't. I never went back on that 30-40 day fasting and all the stuff like that. I never went back to the hospitals again. Never did. Even though the voices and all that stuff came, I knew what it was, and because I understood that, I was able to reject it. So there's a great power in knowing. There's great power, and we should not waste that knowledge. It's there for a reason, and it gives us an edge if we can just be strong enough to use it and to stand our ground. So, but it might be more difficult, depends on where you are. But it's really important that if we're there, we don't lose any more ground than that. So, anyways, yeah, Schizophrenia Awareness Week is done. So, keep doing what you're doing. If it's helping you move forward, and I think that's the most important thing. That's the best thing we can do in affecting any kind of change, is to ourselves make progress as much as we can, and show people that it's not a hopeless thing. We're not just people, there's a fear. People think you're violent. People, I remember my mom's friend wouldn't want to give me a ride home when my mom asked her to, because she was working, because she was afraid of me, because schizophrenia, everything. And I wasn't gonna hurt anybody. I was more afraid of people than they were afraid of me. But there's this stigma, there's this projection that people already have, and so we can we can help change that. But everything starts with us. It's not just good enough to just put the knowledge out there. Oh, I'm not going to hurt anyone. Yeah. But let them see that work in us, and that we can be transformed, and we can be productive and do what we got to do. So, anyways, until next time, the Morning Mist 99 above and beyond schizophrenia, signing out.